Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Faizul Rozi Muhammad Iqmal and I'm from FPA210 which is my industry training group is 12.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Quratul Ain binti Misdar. My number metric is 2020-495052. I am from class 80110-3I.
I want to talk about table of content in this slide, which is the first one. We talk about introduction, so we move. The second is the company organizational background, and then we go to the work experience, we go to the summary of tasks, and we have conclusion in this slide, and the last one we have appendix. Introduction of this slide is we want to talk about the objective report. Next we want to talk about the objective industrial training. What is the objective and what we get at the industrial training, which is what outcome that we learn from the industrial training.
Company background for UiTM Cawangan Pahang Campus Jengke is on 22nd August 1988. Menteri Besar YB Datuk Seri Haji Khalil Yaakob performed the groundbreaking ceremony for ITM Cawangan Pahang. Anticipate RM26 billion permanent campus.
Okay, now we want to talk about the summary of tasks, which is we already went to the five places in 5 weeks. So the first place is oil pump. So at oil pump we do activity like pruning, pest and disease, we do clearing site, and the last day we did harvesting.
So activities that we do in a fruit farm is pruning, weeding, and lastly land clearing.
Third week we went to the nursery place, which is we learn about land clearing. We did land clearing. We also did soil preparation. The third one we do planting. Next we make a new planting site at the nursery place, and lastly we do reporting, which is reporting we from small vase we move to the big vase.
In the livestock week, we do the planting, which is we plant the scotch grass for the cows, and the food preparation for the cows. After that, we do the land clearing, and lastly, we do the weighing the cows.
At my groceries, which is we set up the fence at Stainless B site, and then we do transplanting all cucumber at fertigation site, and then lastly we do preparing a site to make a new plot.
Next, we talk about working experience. Firstly, working experience in oil pump. In oil pump, we do the pruning activities. In the pruning activities, we can done two activities in one time, which is harvesting and pruning. In pruning activities, we need equipment such as loading stick, wheelbarrow, rack, machete, chisel, sack, and glove. No material needed in pruning activities. The procedure of pruning activities and harvesting activities is: Firstly, prepared all equipment are needed, and sharpen the chisel for more easier to harvest the palm oil. After that, we start the harvesting activities. The palm oil that should be harvested using the chisel. Identify the palm oil that should be harvested, which is the fruit becomes or turn to the red color. We need to cut the fronds if they're disturbing our harvesting activities, and the fronds that has been cut should be cleared. The harvested oil palm will pick up by using a loading stick to collect in one place. The labor cost in oil palm for 8 workers is 115 ringgit and 40 cent.
I want to talk about my working experience at a fruit farm. So the main activity at a fruit farm, which is we do pruning. We oftenly do the pruning. We use equipment which is pruning saw, machete, and sketches. Oh yeah, in this activity we didn't use any material, so we move to the procedure, which is the first one is we need to examine each branch necessity for pruning activity. Pruning straight branch, so we gonna cut the straight branch because we want the fresh air to make sure the plant will get enough to make their process, which is photosynthesis. So the next one is we remove the bud of new trees that wanted to reproduce. Alright, at a fruit farm, the labor cost is 1,200 per month. So we divide to 26 days, which is 1 month. We off 4 days, which is per month 1,200. Per day we got 46 ringgit 15 cent. In a day, we work in around 8 to 9 hours. So 1 hour paid by 5 ringgit and 77 cent. We involve the 8 people, which is my group 12 have 8 people. So we got labor cost that day is 138 ringgit 48 cent.
After 1 week in fruit farm, we go to the nursery and herb farm. One of the activity in nursery that we do is soil preparation. So the objective of soil mixture or preparation is to know the ratio of the soil needed, and then to learn how to mix the soil well, and lastly to identify the type of soil that we use. The equipment that we use in soil preparation is hoe, wheelbarrow, and shovel, and the material is topsoil, sand, and EM fertilizer. The procedure of the soil preparation is first prepare all material in one place with ratio 3:1, which is 3 for the topsoil, 2 for sand, and 1 for EM fertilizer. After that, mix them using a hoe and shovel until mixed well, and then transfer the soil mixture to another place so that the mixture is well blended. In this activity, which is soil preparation, we have material cost and labor cost. The material, which is topsoil, sand, and EM fertilizer. The price of topsoil is 200 ringgit for 3 ton, and the quantity used that we use is 90 kilogram, and the total is 66 ringgit 30 cents. The second material that we use is sand. So the price of sand is 180 ringgit for 3 ton, and the quantity used is 60 kilogram, and the total cost is 3 ringgit 60 cents. Last material that we use is EM fertilizer. So the price of EM fertilizer is 30 ringgit, and we use 1 unit only. So the total cost of material cost is 39 ringgit 90 cents. After that, the labor cost for 8 workers in nursery and herb farm is 184 ringgit 94 cents.
So we want to talk about at a livestock farm at the last week, the second last week, which is we do the main activity at livestock farm is repairing the fence. So the equipment we use is cutter and a hammer. So we want to talk about the procedure of this activity. So the first one, we must repair the fence. Yes, of course, using a wire, and support it by using a wood. The wood we smash by using a hammer to make sure the fence is tough and the fence is hard to move. The procedure, we cut the wire and then we land the fence at the wood that we smash by hammer, and we tie it up by using a wire. So the costing for this activity, which is same like at fruit farm.
Last but not least, for the MyAgroSys week, we do the setup for the fence. Which is installing a chain link. The objective of installing a chain link is to ensure that the stingless bee is constantly protected from invaders. Equipment that needed is hammer, plier, and hand drill. And the material need is cutler pin, chain link fence, glow metal wire, flat bar, and wire. The procedure of set up the fence, which is installing the chain link, is preparing all equipment and materials needed in this activity, and then take the fence and place it at each angle. After that, unroll the fence and fasten it on each angle bar. Measure the length of the fence that has been used. Pull the fence against to the flat bar for traction and to ensure the fence straight. After that, insert the glow metal wire into the chain link fence, or alternately, the glow metal wire should be placed on above, in the middle, and below the chain link fence. By using hand drill, make a new hole at the angle bar and flat bar. After that, insert the cutler pin in the hole to make sure the fence were tight. Lastly, use the hammer to smash the cutler pin insert nicely in the hole. In this activity, we have material cost and labor cost. The price of chain link fence is 135 ringgit, and quantity used is only one quantity used, and flat bar is 8 ringgit, and the quantity used is 5. So the total is 40 ringgit. The price of glow metal wire is 80 ringgit, and the quantity that we use is only 1 unit. And lastly, cutler pin is 15 ringgit, and quantity used also 1 unit only. The total cost of material cost is 270 ringgit, and the labor cost is for 8 workers is 138 ringgit and 48 cents. Conclusion of industrial training is extremely beneficial to all parties involved in the growth of the country. Industrial training is essential to overcome challenge in the academic curriculum and the job. This will help students acquire to specific skills and abilities required to become accessible. As a student, you may get industrial experience while also becoming familiar with the real world working environment at the industrial training facility.
Alright, we go to the next slide, which is we want to talk about the references. So, like you can see, this is our references, which is every week, every day, we wrote our activity in this book. So make sure the final report and the final presentation that have evidence that we make research or we type in this slide. So the activity or the all activity is confirm that we do. Alright, we go to the last slide, which is appendix. So this is 5 weeks where we together and do the industrial training together with a supervisor, with a kind supervisor, with a motivated supervisor, and also the memory we do the activity and the experience we get. So that's all from me. Thank you and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.